Good evening everyone. It's a pleasure to see you today. I'm glad to have you today for our usual business talk or business engagement. My name is John Kanwanaho and I'm the CEO and founder of Jonaki Holdings Limited. And at Jonaki Holdings Limited we offer credit, we give loans, affordable loans, very fast and efficiently and with integrity. So we look forward to serving you. You can always check out this channel, YouTube, Jonan Kandwanaho, and also our website, www.jonakiholdings.com. So we are here to serve you. So get to meet here every Friday from 5 to 5:30. From 5:30 to 6 for a business talk. And we majorly, of late, been focusing on money lending as a business because it's what we do at Jonaki Holdings Limited. We lend money. So we get to interact here, we get to meet here, to sharpen one another, to guide one another, because iron sharpens iron. So we get to meet here to sharpen one another. So I always look forward to having you around here from 5:30 of every Friday. So today is yet a great day, and we're going to talk about quite an interesting topic: the impending risks and fragility of money lending. There have been a number of risks involved in lending money, just like any other businesses, but I think this industry, the risks involved are very high. There are high risks involved compared to other businesses. And I did a YouTube specifically highlighting the risks and the tricks that the fraudsters use to con you of your money if you lend money. There are a number of tricks that they use, so you can look up that video and watch it. I shared it a while ago. You can check out on our YouTube channel, Jonan Kandwanaho. So there are risks involved in this business, and more so in this time, in this period. You see, when COVID happened, things went standstill. And now that COVID has really reduced to maybe 0.1%, almost none, or 1-2 cases in the country, businesses are coming up, businesses are getting up, things are happening newly, and you expect that people are starting to stabilize. And the appetite for money, the appetite for cash has drastically increased. It has drastically increased. But you see, the drastic increase in the appetite for money does not guarantee the payback. The ability, the capability, the financial muscle to pay back, it does not guarantee that. So what then happens? It is pertinent upon the company or whoever is lending the money to ensure that the money comes back, or that the client has the ability to pay back. Yes, granted, you need the money. Yes, granted, the business is picking up, but do you have the capacity to pay back? Do you have the capacity to pay back? So you need to assess. You need to know, because there are huge risks involved. And there are several other cases that have set very bad precedents in the financial industry. If you've been in this industry, it is important that you get information. In all you're getting, get wisdom, get information. You see, you could be far from your destiny or your riches by small piece of information that you actually do not know. Just by a small bucket of information that you do not know, could be the thing that is stopping you from progressing or to getting to a level that you actually want. That's why it's important that you expose yourself to a great deal of information as much as you can, especially in your industry. So if I am speaking to someone who is interested in this industry, who has a business in this industry, who lends money, there are some cases that you should be familiar with of late that have happened or that have shaken the financial industry in this country. And they are setting a precedent. A precedent that is not as good for those who lend money. A precedent that is not as nice, as plausible. Because ideally, if you come to borrow money, it is pertinent that you actually pay it back. It is important that you pay it back. So whether I have a license, whether I am licensed, whether I'm operating how, when you're coming for money, I highly doubt that you ask me whether I have a license or not. Or whether my license is up to date or not. All you need is money. So if you need money to finance your business or finance your engagement, it is also pertinent that the same willingness that you come with to get the money should be the same willingness that you should bring on board to pay back. Because if you don't pay back, definitely you'll be wishing me to get out of business. Meaning that the next time you need money, I'll not be in business. I'll not be able to give you money. Meaning that you might actually struggle because you will not be having. Because you can imagine if a number of defaulters in the different institutions do not pay back, what scene are they setting? At the end of the day, the banks or the financial institutions will refuse to give out the money. And you see, like we were discussing the other day about reducing cost of credit in the country, you might find that the banks might even opt to just buy bills and bonds and lend to the government, because you lend to the government by buying bills and bonds. So the moment you buy bills and bonds, you lend to the government. And as far as you should know, is that the government is the best borrower. If you lend to government, you have an assurance that definitely the government will pay back. It is the best borrower. Because even if governments change, if government owes you through bills and bonds, it will definitely pay back. So you know what the financial institutions are going to end up doing? They'll buy bonds and bills. And then the market will be crowded. And what happens to Muntu Joe? What happens to the common person who needs credit, who needs to develop their production line, who needs to scale up his or her business? What happens? They will not have access to credit. So they're going to be affected. They cannot grow, they cannot scale up. Why? Because scaling up requires money. And because of the different precedents that have been set, the financial institutions to give out money are hesitant. They also do not want to risk that much. They also do not want to engage that much. But it's a burden that has been brought on board by the consumers. So where we are going is going to be a little trickier. Because of the precedents that have been set in this industry, it's going to be trickier for clients to access credit. So, what is it that I say? I advise you should have your house in order. If you run a business, you should have your house in order. It is important that you organize your house. In this, what do I mean? You have to have a very good financial statement. If your business has not been banking money, if your business has not been banking or having an account, it is now time to have an account. Because if you come for credit, it is important for me to acquaint myself with the confidence that you can ably pay. And to prove that you can ably pay is by your financial statement. You won't tell me verbally. There are clients that have been coming and it says, you know what, Jonan, for us we transact cash in hands. We don't bank our money. And I will tell you, how else can I prove? Because I don't work in your business. How else can I prove that you actually have some bit of cash flow? How else can I prove that you can actually pay? How else can I prove that you have the capacity to pay? If you don't have a bank statement, it will be hard. And you see, you cannot open a bank statement, you cannot open a bank account to have the bank statement if your company is not registered. And I actually guided you. I shoot a video, one of the live streams, guiding you on how you can actually formalize and register. You need to be registered with your RSB. You have to have cleared with your to have a TIN number. So there's a procedure that you have to go through to get registered according to the law in the government of Uganda. So you may have to watch that video, how to formalize your business, so that you can formalize, then you can open a bank account, then you can be able to start talking about accessing credit. Because without that, it will be very hard. Without that, you're going to stand a risk. Because not all money lenders are after your properties. Not all money lenders are after your things. Some of us are genuine. We need to assess your ability to pay back. It's not about your collateral. You'll have a collateral that is worth 500 million, perhaps a land title, and you come for a loan of maybe 20 million, and we shall not give you. You know why? If you cannot prove that you have the financial capacity to pay back by way of a bank statement, we are not after foreclosing your property. We are not after selling your property. We are after supporting you. And we have to make sure from the word go that you can ably pay. And as I've always shared, even in last Friday's talk, is that the bad loan happens at the point of dispatch. The loan is bad at the point you're giving out money, at the time you're assessing. So we do not want to clash with you. We want to clash with as few clients as possible. It should be the last resort. It should be the worst case scenario. Otherwise, we wouldn't want to clash at any one moment with the client. So in this way, we shall be insulating ourselves against such anomalies, against such challenges. That's why we advise that, get organized so that both of us can be supported. So that we can support you with a facility, and we have to make sure that you can as well ably pay. So with impending risks in this industry, if you're lending money and you still cannot put a caveat on the car logbook, and you still cannot put a mortgage on the land title, and you still cannot properly value, because you're not a professional, so you cannot value a car by a way of looking at it, you'll be lying to yourself. You're not a professional valuer, and your level of valuation shall not be honored in the courts of the law. So you need a professional valuer that is licensed, that can value your items. And then 2, if I come and park my car, it is not a guarantee that I cannot sell it off. I'll go sell off the car. If you've not put the caveats, I'll transfer it to some other names, and someone else will come and pick that car. So it's important that if you lend money, it should be 100% secure. Because where we're going, it's also getting more riskier. The impending risks are too high. And if you're not lucky enough, you'll get out of business. It will sweep you out of business. It will wash you out of business. So this industry is becoming very fragile. The farther we are going, the more fragile it is becoming. So, and it's getting fragile both on the side of the lender and the borrower. And that's why I tend to balance both sides, because we need each other. That whereas the bank tells you to come after 3 months to access 100 million, I am telling you, you can access it maybe in 4 hours. You can access it maybe in 1 day. You can access it maybe in 24 hours. And you see, that's why even money lenders cannot get out of business. Because we don't toss back and forth. We don't toss clients back and forth. So actually you come in a short time and you have the money. But also it's important that as a borrower, you sieve out whom you go to. Especially if you have your property that is valuable. Because you can able to lose it over a small amount of money in such a joke or in a funny way. You see, you access credit that is worth maybe 30 million and the property is worth 150 million. Barely after 1 month, a person has already transferred your title. Before you even reach a period of when you're meant to pay. Why? Because you gave them the title and the transfer forms. Big problem. So it's important that both the side of the borrower and the lender are protected. So the fragility of this business is affecting both parties, the lender and the borrower. That's why I advise that the borrower, you acquaint yourself, you organize your house, you formalize your business so that you can actually attract good credit. So that you can, because any decent money lender, if the aim is not foreclose on the client's collateral that they put, or security that they put with you, you have to make sure that they have the capacity and the capability to pay, irrespective of whether they have the collateral or not. Because if my focus is looking at the collateral, that means at the end of the day, I'm thinking, you know what? I've proved that this guy does not bank. I've proved that I cannot be sure of this guy's capacity to pay back, his financial stand. So where do I best to give them the money? Where do I best to give them the money? That means my eyes are focused on foreclosing on the item. So the moment the guy starts saying, hey, wait 1 more month, wait 1 more week, my only hope is to transfer the title so that I can recover my money. So someone who is genuine and is not planning to fleece you or perhaps foreclose on your item or foreclose on your property, because sometimes it's genuine because the person gave you his money and you're now dilly-dallying. But you see, it also could be a fault on the side of the lender, because from the word go, it is important that you assess the capacity and the capability of the client, and then it will save you a lot of headache, it will save you a lot of problems, it will save you a lot of back and forth, it will save you a lot of, because I told you our business is thriving on word of mouth, so I can only clash with as many clients. Before I know it, my name will be out of hand, the company name will be out of hand, and I will not grow. And I want to grow, because our businesses thrive they survive through referrals, word of mouth. So I need to clash with as few clients as possible, where it's inevitable. So what am I saying? Go out there, formalize your business, be bankable, have a good financial statement, that you can even attract very cheap credit. Because then the financer will be able to know that, you know what, I think I'm insulated. Even if I offer a lower rate, I'm assured that it will come back. I'd rather give out my money at maybe 3% or 4% when I have the assurance that it will come back than give it out at 15% or 20% or 10% when I don't have the assurance that it will come back. It will end up in courts of the law, it will end up in several clashes and back and forth. So with that, I'd like to appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and I hope you implement 1 or 2 things so that you can grow, so that you can progress, so that they can see you at the top. I speak a blessing over you and your business. God bless the works of your hands. May you continue to thrive, to progress, to share luck, and may God's face shine upon you and your business and your family and the staff you're supporting, and ensure that you grow for the benefit of the community, the country, and the world at large. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Enjoy your Friday and the rest of the weekend. God richly bless you. Thank you. Cheers and bye-bye.